So let's talk about Law 32. So Law 32 says plays to people's fantasies. So when you get this book, because you're going to get this book. When you get this book, it goes through stories, and not just stories, but historical events maybe as well. And they also have fables or other things on the side. So it comes with storylines in the side too. It also comes with interpretations, keys to power, and so on and so forth. But I just want to just touch base on observing the law. When they give this law, how do you make sense of the law, of what they're saying, right? So let's talk about this. So for Law 32, it talks about Venice, the city of Venice, that in the Middle Ages and in the High Renaissance, they were considered almost the wealthiest city in Europe because of trade and all of that. But then when the ports opened in the Atlantic side of Europe, then the Spanish and the Portuguese, and later the Dutch and the English, took control of the ports, right? So now Venice couldn't compete anymore. So people that felt that they were very prosperous, they had all this money, all this stuff, things started to change. So the noble families in Venice went broke, right? So things started to happen in Venice, and they felt like they were being humiliated because they were powerful, all this money. Now all of a sudden they don't have it anymore. Then rumors start to emerge about this man called Il Bragandino, and that he was a master of alchemy, meaning he could turn any item into gold. That's the wish for many people. So rumors spread, right? Now, the noblemen that heard the story about this Il Bragandino, master alchemist, they said, if we bring this man to Venice, our luck is going to change, right? So they started dreaming about what this man will do to them, right? This man hasn't done anything to them yet, but they started dreaming about the possibility of what this could mean for Venice. So the noble family in Venice decided to go to him and ask him to go to Venice and work for them. Use alchemy and turn their money that they had into more money, more gold. And they extended an official invitation to Bragandino to stay in Venice at the city expenses. So they moved this man from where he was to Venice, and the city was going to pay for everything, right? So now they decided to invite him. He lived this luxurious life, lived in a palace and so on and so forth. But time continued to pass and they didn't see this gold. Then he said, well, I deposited the money in your bank, this powder that will turn this gold into gold. Everyone in the city started to try and work with alchemy. Of course, people were trying with different items to try to turn everything into gold. They were not successful. Nonetheless, he became more popular. More people started coming to Venice to see him. They wanted to meet him, but they didn't see that he turned anything into gold. Then he said patience was very important. So he says, it is very important. You need to be patient. He says to them, I'm going to put this powder, this thing in your bank, but you need to leave the door closed for 7 years. Don't open it. And then the people were like, some people, not everybody. Some people were like, let's believe him. Other people were like, no, he's been living here for a while. We've been paying for everything. The noblemen and the commoners. Everybody was like, no, we've been paying for everything. We're not going to do that. We need you to turn things to gold now. Again, think about what the law says. The law says plays to people's fantasies. He is playing them because in their mind, they're back to being wealthy, which means they already owning the big things, the nice dresses, the trips, the jewels. They have everything in their mind. And that because they're pressuring him, mind you, this man couldn't turn anything into gold, but that's the rumors. He said, because you doubt me, I have decided I'm no longer going to be working with Venice anymore. I'm done. This is not going to work, right? Because of being, this is what it says, lofty and apparently devoted to his art, Bragandino responded that Venice, in its impatience, had betrayed him and would therefore lose his services. He fired himself and then left town. And then he went to another town and to go into an invitation to this duke, and then he did it all over again. And then it goes back to the fact that this duke had lost all his money, and in hopes to regain his fame back and stuff like that, he got Bragandino's services And then Bernardino resumed the comfortable arrangement he had known in Venice, and the same pattern repeated himself. So this is telling you that because he knew what people wanted, they heard his capabilities, he played on their fantasies, meaning we are going to become better again. We're going to have all this money again. Things like everything's going to be better again. That was not going to be the case. But then again, that's what happened. And then it goes through the interpretations and so on and so forth. So this is a staple in anyone's library. Don't get the digital version. This is it right here.